Home prices in the GTA just hit their lowest point since 2020. In fact, the average home has lost $285,000 since the peak 4 years ago. And while all of the headlines are screaming crash, the actual data shows a massive shift in who's actually winning. If you've been waiting for the bottom of the market, we are officially in the most critical window for buyers and sellers in 4 years. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly why the 14th straight month of price declines is actually a signal to act. And I'll give you a clear picture of where this GTA housing market reset is actually headed. Before I get into it, if you don't know me, my name is Odane Harding. I've been a realtor here in the Toronto and surrounding area for the last 10 years. And if you've been watching this market or trying to figure out what your next move is, and you'd like some professional guidance on how to figure things out, I would love for you to book a clarity call with me, where we'll just go over where you're at, what you're trying to do, and see if there's any common ground that makes sense for you today. Just click the link in the description down below, or scan the QR code and schedule a time. All right, now let's get into the data. Here's the current state of the Toronto real estate market. The GTA had 5,039 home sales in March. That's actually up 2% from last year, which is the first time that sales have gone up year over year in the last 6 months. That's meaningful, but before you get too excited, let's put it into context. That number is still 43% below where we usually are in March, so we're barely off the floor. Prices dropped 6.7% compared to a year ago, landing at an average of $1,017,796. That's the lowest March average we've had since 2020. We're now in the 14th straight month of price declines. These aren't just market corrections anymore. This is a real sustained housing market reset. A few other things to note is that the months of supply is at 4.3 months, and the sale to list ratio is at 98%. Now here's the interesting part for those looking for the bottom. Even though annual prices are down, they're actually edging back up month over month. Homes sold for 98 cents for every listed dollar in March, which is actually a 9-month high. While annual prices are still falling, the bleeding is starting to slow down. If you're a buyer, and I know a lot of you watching this are, let me speak directly to you. This is probably the most buyer-friendly window we've seen in years. You have real negotiating power and better selection. But the data is starting to flash yellow for the buyers that are waiting. Months of supply dropped from 5.8 in January to 4.3 in March. That's a big move. It signals that we're getting closer to balanced territory. But semis, rows, and townhomes, they're already at 3.4 months of supply. That's a balanced market right now. A question for you. Are you seeing more competition in your neighborhood, or are houses sitting? Let me know in the comments. I want to see if the data matches what you're seeing on the ground. Now there's one macro factor that you need to know, and that's 5-year government bond yields jumped 50 basis points since the outbreak of the Iran conflict in March. That means fixed mortgage rates are tickling up, while variable rates are holding steady, with the Bank of Canada holding their overnight rate. 5-year fixed rates are pushing past 6%. Now this is a real cost if you're waiting for the perfect bottom that may have already passed for certain home types. Now for sellers. I know this has been a hard couple of years watching your home value come down on paper, but let me reframe this. New listings dropped 17% in March compared to last year. Sellers are pulling back, and that's creating a window of opportunity because you now have less competition. Active listings in the GTA are now down 8% year over year. Now, if you're selling a condo, I'll be honest, the math is harder. Condo prices just hit a 7-year low. $620,479 on average. Condo supply is at 5.4 months, which is above balanced. Plus, the government just announced the removal of HST on new condos and a 50% cut in development charges. That could lower the cost of a brand new unit by $100,000, putting even more pressure on resale pricing. However, for detached and semi-detached sellers, especially in Toronto East and Durham, supply is tight, 2.9 to 3 months. If you own a detached home in that corridor, this may be the best window you have before more inventory arrives in the fall. So let me put this all together for you. We're not at the absolute bottom yet, but we're very close for low-rise homes. Think detached, semi-detached, and townhouses. The condo market still has work to do. Consumer confidence is fragile due to geopolitics and rising fixed rates. But the structural underpinnings, Toronto's growth, and the insufficient supply pipeline, that still remains. Policy changes like HST relief and new housing legislation is engineering a recovery. The best opportunities in the market exist right now, today, not in 6 months when everybody else is figuring it out. Market data can only tell you so much. What it can't tell you is what's the right move for your specific finances and goals. If you're a buyer trying to figure out if now's the right time for you, or if you're a seller figuring out whether you should list in the spring, I can give you an honest analysis. The link to book a no obligation clarity call is in the link in the description and in the QR code floating somewhere around here. If this video was helpful for you, please hit like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.